Let's zoom out and consider the bigger picture here. This situation goes beyond just two famous people tangled in a messy breakup. It's a story about shifting power, emotional control, and the hidden darkness behind even the most glamorous relationships. When intimacy is wielded as a tool for manipulation, it transcends betrayal. It becomes a profound breach of trust. Sadly, Angela Simmons is not alone in facing this kind of toxic dynamic. In Hollywood, and particularly within hip-hop culture, these destructive patterns are often accepted, even celebrated. The familiar trope of the ride-or-die partner who endures infidelity, emotional games, and public shame is all too common, and it's a narrative that's been repeated far too many times. Angela, with her calm demeanor and quiet strength, may very well be turning the narrative on its head. Instead of engaging in public disputes or airing grievances on social media, she's opting for a more measured, strategic approach. This kind of restraint speaks volumes, especially in an era where public figures often rush to defend themselves with loud statements and viral posts. Angela's choice to maintain her dignity and composure under pressure not only shows personal resilience but also sends a powerful message. Sometimes silence and grace are the most potent forms of resistance. Her actions demonstrate a conscious refusal to be drawn into a cycle of public drama, choosing instead to focus on her own growth and well-being. But what about Gotti? If the rumors swirling around them hold any weight, what lies beneath his behavior? Psychologists and relationship experts often note that when individuals who have heavily invested themselves emotionally in a relationship perceive a loss of control or influence, it can trigger toxic patterns. For someone like Gotti, who publicly pursued Angela for nearly a decade and built an image intertwined with that pursuit, the potential end or disruption of that relationship might feel like a profound personal loss, not just of a partner, but of a part of his identity. This perceived loss of control can lead to desperate attempts to reclaim power, sometimes through harmful or manipulative behaviors. Gotti's sense of self-worth, ego, and public image are tightly linked to this relationship. It's not merely about love. It's about pride and status both in the private realm and in the public eye. Losing Angela might symbolize more than just a breakup. It could feel like a shattering of the carefully crafted persona he has projected to the world. The emotional stakes are high, and the fallout can be significant. When someone's identity becomes entangled with another person to such an extent, any threat to that bond can provoke intense, sometimes destructive reactions. Moreover, this situation may reflect a larger, more troubling pattern. When a man is willing to threaten or undermine someone he once loved, it raises difficult questions about his character and past behavior. Is this a one-time lapse in judgment, or part of a broader pattern of control and intimidation? Are there others who have been silenced, intimidated, or coerced into silence behind closed doors? These are the conversations many are beginning to have online, especially on social media platforms like Twitter, where users question whether this story is merely the visible tip of a much larger iceberg. From a business standpoint, the stakes are equally high for Gotti. As the head of CMG and a significant player in the music industry, his public image is critical. Endorsements, partnerships, and artist relationships all depend heavily on reputation. A scandal involving allegations of toxic behavior or abuse can cause serious damage. Brands are increasingly cautious about their affiliations, and fans' opinions can swiftly influence commercial opportunities. Should these allegations gain more traction or be legally confirmed, the consequences could extend far beyond personal reputation, potentially impacting streaming numbers, collaboration deals, and sponsorships. Meanwhile, Angela's brand continues to thrive despite the turmoil. She's not only a public figure but also a businesswoman and mother, managing her ventures and personal life with grace. This calm, focused approach resonates with many fans who admire her ability to rise above drama and maintain control over her narrative. Her example challenges the often toxic cultural expectation that women must engage in public battles to defend themselves. Instead, she embodies the power of dignity and resilience in the face of adversity. In the end, Angela's silence is not a sign of weakness but of strength. It suggests a strategic choice to protect herself emotionally and legally while continuing to build her life on her own terms. This approach may well redefine how public figures handle personal conflict in the digital age, showing that sometimes the most effective response is not to shout the loudest but to stand firm and silent, letting actions and character speak louder than words ever could. His ego, pride, and public image are deeply entwined with this relationship, so losing it might feel like losing a part of himself. But this situation raises a broader concern. If a man is willing to threaten someone he once cared for, what else might he be capable of? Has this behavior happened behind closed doors before? Are there other women who have been silenced, compensated, or simply too fearful to speak out? These questions are sparking important conversations online, with many wondering if this is only the surface of a much larger issue. On the business front, this controversy could seriously damage Gotti's reputation. In an industry where public perception is everything, endorsements, partnerships, and deals depend heavily on image. Fans are watching, brands are taking notes, and if these allegations gain traction or lead to legal action, the fallout could extend far beyond headlines, impacting streaming numbers, collaborations, and his standing in the music world. Meanwhile, Angela Simmons steadily and quietly strengthens her personal brand, projecting confidence and resilience in the face of mounting challenges. Rather than engaging in public disputes or airing her grievances on social media, she has chosen a path marked by focus and composure. Her attention remains firmly on her growing business ventures and raising her son, while maintaining a relatively low profile. This calm and measured approach resonates deeply with today's audiences, who increasingly admire women capable of rising above turmoil instead of becoming entangled in it. Angela's poised silence is more than just avoidance. It is a powerful statement in itself, demonstrating that one can walk away from conflict without sacrificing dignity or self-respect. In a culture often driven by sensationalism and public drama, her ability to maintain grace and discretion sets her apart, earning her genuine respect from fans and observers alike. On the legal front, the stakes for both Angela and Gotti could become significant if she chooses to pursue formal action. Should there be credible evidence supporting allegations that Gotti made threats involving private or explicit material, the legal repercussions for him could be severe. Laws regarding digital harassment, revenge porn, and the non-consensual sharing of intimate content are growing increasingly strict across many jurisdictions, reflecting society's growing recognition of the serious harm these offenses can cause. Depending on the specific state or country, penalties may range from substantial fines and restraining orders to possible jail time. It is critical to understand that Angela is not required to wait for any explicit photos, videos, or messages to be leaked publicly for legal remedies to be pursued. The mere act of issuing such threats can constitute grounds for legal intervention, underscoring the seriousness of this form of abuse. Beyond criminal consequences, there is also the potential for civil litigation. Emotional distress caused by digital harassment or threats can open the door for lawsuits seeking financial damages for harm to reputation, mental health, and overall well-being. Such lawsuits not only hold perpetrators accountable but also serve as a warning to others about the consequences of using private information as leverage or intimidation. The increasing legal protections surrounding digital privacy signal a shift in how courts and society view violations in the digital age, recognizing that the weaponization of intimate content is a deeply damaging form of abuse, with real, lasting effects on victims' lives. This legal dimension adds an important layer of complexity to what may seem like a personal conflict from the outside. It highlights that issues involving public figures can quickly transcend gossip and social media drama, potentially evolving into serious legal battles with lasting implications. For Angela, pursuing justice may not only be about addressing personal wrongs but also about setting boundaries and sending a clear message that such behavior will not be tolerated, regardless of the offender's status or influence. Through all this, Angela's continued focus on her business, family, and personal growth is a testament to her strength and determination. She is not allowing the turmoil to define her narrative or derail her progress. Instead, she is reclaiming her story on her own terms, quietly powerful, legally aware, and steadfast in her commitment to protect her dignity and future. This combination of resilience and legal empowerment could well serve as a blueprint for others navigating similar challenges in the spotlight, proving that strength often lies not in the noise but in measured action and unwavering self-respect. This entire saga also affects more than just the two individuals involved. It impacts families and communities. Angela is a mother, Gotti is a father, and their loved ones are watching these events unfold with concern. How does witnessing public scandal affect the trust and well-being of their children? What strain does this place on friendships, business relationships, and supporters? These headlines are real lives being shaped and sometimes shaken by conflict. As observers, there are some crucial takeaways. First, let's stop glorifying obsessive love. It's not romantic when someone refuses to accept no, manipulates emotions, or threatens harm. True love is built on respect and boundaries, not control. Second, support those who speak out, even if their voices are quiet. Angela's calm, deliberate actions speak volumes and deserve recognition. If she chooses to break her silence publicly, she deserves to be heard and protected. Third, this story is a stark reminder about the importance of digital privacy and boundaries. In a world where intimate photos and messages can easily become weapons, we must be cautious about who we trust with our most vulnerable moments. And society must push for laws that keep pace with technology to protect victims from exploitation and abuse. Ultimately, Angela Simmons never deserved to have her privacy threatened by someone who once called her his queen. Love should never be wielded as leverage, and respect should never turn into revenge. We'll continue to follow this story closely, breaking down every update, statement, and development as it unfolds. For those wanting the full picture, it's worth remembering how this saga began. Yo Gotti first name-checked Angela Simmons in his 2015 track Down in the DM, confessing a long-held crush. That lyric sparked a years-long public fascination with their relationship. Angela played it cool for a long time, giving credit to Gotti's persistence without showing much interest. Then, in 2022, a surprise Instagram post confirmed their official relationship, sending the internet into a frenzy and celebrating the long-game success story of patience and pursuit. But sometimes, reality behind the glam isn't what it seems. Despite the champagne dates, luxury vacations, and matching outfits shared online, insiders say the relationship took a darker turn. Sources close to Angela reveal that Gotti became controlling and jealous, especially as Angela shifted focus toward her businesses and son. What looked like a fairy tale to fans may have been a struggle for control beneath the surface, with Gotti viewing Angela less as a partner and more like a trophy slipping away. That is a glaring warning sign. Women, especially those in the not trophies to be captured and showcased. They are complex individuals with their own boundaries, desires, and autonomy. If a man cannot accept a firm no, whether it's a declined date, an unanswered message, or a refusal to reconcile, then he has no place in a healthy relationship. Consider the emotional weight this ordeal must place on Angela. To open yourself, fully emotionally, physically, digitally to someone, only to have that vulnerability twisted into a weapon against you, is not just a heartbreak, it's a deep, foundational betrayal. Such a breach doesn't merely fracture the heart, it shakes the very core of one's trust in others. And if Angela is enduring all of this while balancing motherhood, managing her businesses, and preserving her public persona, she deserves far more than mere recognition. She deserves unwavering support, respect for her privacy, and above all, justice. The potential ramifications extend into their professional worlds as well. Yo Gotti is not just a rapper but a savvy entrepreneur at the helm of collective music group CMGA, label riding a wave of success thanks to artists like Moneybagg Yo, Glorilla, and ESTG, with his business under such close scrutiny. This controversy could cause serious ripples. Artists might reconsider their affiliations. Sponsors could rethink partnerships, and public perception may swiftly turn. In the business of entertainment, reputations rise and fall quickly, especially when allegations are involved. On the flip side, Angela's brand is deeply rooted in empowerment, wellness, fashion, and family values. She's cultivated an image built on strength and independence, and while this chapter is undeniably challenging, it may also reinforce her narrative, particularly if she continues to face it with composure and dignity. But make no mistake, her calm exterior should not be mistaken for fragility. Behind that poised facade could be a brewing legal battle, and if Yo Gotti misjudges her resolve, he will soon learn just how potent quiet strength can be. Now, let's address something often overlooked: emotional safety. Relationships, especially those in the public eye, demand a profound level of vulnerability. Trusting someone with your secrets, your fears, your very self requires immense courage. When that trust is shattered in such a public and threatening manner, it goes beyond private pain. It becomes a spectacle of humiliation, a form of trauma. Angela's choice to maintain silence amid this storm reveals not weakness, but an extraordinary blend of resilience and calculated strategy.